So after my dad passed away, then I started his company. My dad was the brilliant botanist, and I still have half of his library of medicinal books and all of that. But what happened is about 5 years after I restarted his company, I had a need for a formula that I was getting asked for a lot. So I sat down, not just with my dad's book, but I just started doing a ton of research. So this was almost 20 years ago. And it was very specific for a specific thing. And it took me about 18 months. And I had a whole journal full of notes of all these plants and all these herbs that needed to go into this formula. And I felt a little tiny bit overwhelmed, and I felt completely unworthy of doing this work without a degree, just all my experience. I didn't think was anything that was enough. But I sat down in I have this great place where I meditate. And I thought, okay, I'm going to ask my higher self, I'm going to ask the plant spirits that I've got all this information about for help, because I was feeling a little bit overwhelmed. So this is what happened. This is the coolest story. So I sat down, I had my notes opened up in front of me. I closed my eyes and I just completely relaxed, because I'd spent 18 months in due diligence working on what plants would go in this formula. And this was going to be a tincture. So this is going to be a concentrated herbal blend. Within 10 minutes, stuff started to drop in like immediately. So I turned the page, and within 10 minutes, I'd written out the herbs that needed to go in it and the exact percentages. And then I literally put my pen down and I kind of sat there stunned. And it was like divine inspiration. The plants were talking to me. It was I actually get chills just thinking about it right now. So when I formulate, this is how I formulate now. And about 10 years ago, I formulated a brain formula. It took me a long time to share that's how I did it, because I felt like, okay, now wait a minute. That felt too easy. But then I'm like, okay, Jane, you just for 18 months worked your ass off. It wasn't like it just dropped in, but they do drop in faster to me now, because now I have this process and the plants talk to me. It's really cool.